and welcome back to another episode
thing.
of the What the Fanboy Show.
I don't worry about it.
I worry about too many things. Why I have medication.
Relax, brother.
New trailers this week, guys.
I just do a bunch of meth. Usually gets me through.
The amount of times I've heard you say the words meth this week.
Well, we got Meth Gator and Meth Tyler. And
Listen, it hasn't been a lot, but it's been like more than usual.
Like way more than usual. Way.
Yeah, it's not usually like something I often think about, but yes.
JT over in the chat thinks we need to make a podcast just based on chips. Should we review chips? We have a segment.
I reviewed Spicy Mountain Dew.
We did review Spicy Mountain Dew.
Made my stomach hurt for that entire evening.
I thought it was kind of good.
I definitely
So gross.
took a pretty fiery poo after that thing.
Shouldn't that be coming out the other end?
I don't know.
With Cheetos
Much
stuff,
like
you
David's
just
art,
never
mine
know.
was going that
You
way
just
too.
never know. Okay, new trailers. We have a few. Let's get through them real quick. Did you guys see the Peter Pan Wendy Disney Plus trailer?
I don't need to see it because I'm just gonna guess it looks terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
Listen, there's never gonna
doesn't
be
look
a
great.
good Peter Pan movie except for the 1940 one, the Disney animated one. That's gonna be the only one good one for eternity. It's just impossible, and I've accepted that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I couldn't see you, so I didn't know if I was being looked at. To put my glasses back on.
You have really bad vision if you couldn't see me from 6. Are we
There's-
6
there-
or 6 feet away?
There's
probably?
a shape, like the shape of you. Is that an Ed Sheeran song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can read nothing over there. Anyway, Peter Pan will never be good. I've accepted that.
Oh, Hook. JT says Hook was the best. I think Hook is unique. It's not
a Peter Pan movie.
It's not quite the Peter Pan movie. Yeah, it's a little bit of a twist on the Peter Pan movie, for sure. I don't know.
Hook is really good,
But
though.
it is
But critics hated it. Look up its Rotten Tomatoes score if you want to see something fun.
Classic.
I'll look it up for everybody who doesn't want to take the time.
A movie pitching the fans against the critics. What's new?
So divided.
Okay, what's the next trailer?
Ghosted. This is an Apple TV Plus movie with Chris Evans and Ana de Armas.
Hook has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. Why do people hate stuff?
I don't know, Luke.
Man.
I
don't know.
We'll get to that later.
I don't think, Tyler, did you see this one?
No, I saw that it was. So I had a work dinner. Just full disclosure.
You don't have to justify it. You just say no.
I didn't
get
watch
the chance
it.
To watch
I feel bad though because I did see like that they were releasing it, and I was very curious about it. But
Luke and I watched this. Thumbs up. This looks like a lot of fun.
I was just expecting kind of nothing, and I thought it looked really good.
These two have really good chemistry together, and it shows.
Sweet.
So.
Incredible.
Looking forward to it. Thumbs up for me, even though I haven't seen it.
Yep. We also got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem teaser trailer this week.
Thumbs up
from the Forever
me.
Kid Seth Rogen.
Yes. Forever teenager.
Teenager.
Yes.
Teenager.
No,
My bad.
Permanent teenager. Yes. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't get it exactly right.
It's cool, man.
Only just out here having fun.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. It's got a great animation style. It's a little more chaotic than what Disney or Pixar is going to throw out. It feels more in line with like Spider-Verse or even Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm
really
excited for this.
Dude, and like the fact that they're actually like teenagers, they even sound like teenagers is awesome. When Donnie gets stabbed in the leg and screams, I laughed so hard when I saw that today.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like online like, is Donnie a girl now? Nope, that's just a young kid.
That's what young boys sound like when they scream.
That's what you all sounded like at some point in your life.
I look like when I find a spider in my room and I'm not expecting it.
Yeah, Luke still sounds that way.
So when you are expecting a spider, it can be there. Fine. Okay. I watched a video of a lady eating a tarantula alive this week. That was interesting.
She ate it alive?
Yeah, she ate it live.
I don't understand.
She just took a bite, and I was like, oh, what's wrong with you?
I had to do it for the Vine.
I don't like that. I don't like those images in my head.
I miss Vine.
I don't.
Those were the days.
R.I.P. Vine.
Yeah. Anyways, what's next?
TikTok ain't got nothing on Vine. Citadel, which is a
Didn't watch this
Prime TV show. Amazon Prime TV show with Richard
Mann and Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
Yes. I don't know.
Just look it up.
I don't remember her name.
Jonas is
a very action-heavy espionage sci-fi show.
Oh, that reminds me. I was gonna look up that movie that it was reminding me of.
It kind of gave me some.
Oh, I don't need. I just remembered. I don't need to look. It was Source Code.
Source Code.
They're like on a train and don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, the Gyllenhaal one.
Underrated movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah. No, yeah, this one has a thumbs up. It won't be one that's on the top of my to watch list, but I thought it looked good. Good trailer.
Looks fun.
Yep. And the last one I have written down here is Silo, which is a Rebecca Ferguson and a bunch of other fairly big name actors.
Ann Perkins?
From Parks and Rec.
I don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name either. Oh man, she was in that one though with.
Is it Rashida Jones?
Yeah, yes. Rashida Jones.
Common is in there.
Yeah, Common. This gave me
Andor vibes.
So Andor and what's that Michael Bay one? Where they're clones that are like harvested for
that movie.
The Island.
The Island. It gave me like Andor and the Island vibes.
Yeah.
So like I was into this trailer.
Dude, I loved
two
that
thumbs
movie.
up.
The Island is awesome.
Yeah, I loved that movie when I was younger.
Best Michael Bay film ever?
The Rock is up there. I really liked Ambulance. I like all the Transformers movies. I understand those are bad.
But yeah, this movie looks it's a movie, right?
I thought it was a show.
Maybe it's a show. I don't know. Whatever it is, it looks good.
It's on Apple too. They have a pretty good track record.
They have had a really good track record. So.
And did we say Citadel was on Prime?
Yes.
Okay. So have a read.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think those are my trailers. Did you guys have any others?
Nope. I had those exact 4.
Awesome.
Can you believe it?
We
watched like all of them together right before the show.
I watched some of those beforehand, but then I rewatched
them with me.
Yeah. Okay. I think then we can hop on over into our Creed 3 review, gentlemen. But I don't know the theme song.
Dun 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 dun. Actually, that theme was in the movie. But
But yeah.
Someone
Creed.
should stand up and punch the other person. Preferably not me.
We both got up and punched
and that
Tyler,
was not rehearsed.
So.
You were curious.
Yeah.
Creed 3.
What do you
Thumbs
guys
up.
think?
Creed. Awesome.
Yeah. Great movie.
This is like a great capstone to this little trilogy.
Yep.
And whatever it is, I don't know.
Whatever they decide to do moving forward.
Well, like, yeah. Kind of what I mean is, like, there's, like, the Creed trilogy, and then there's, like, the Rocky...
Everything.
I don't know how many movies. I have not seen all of them.
6?
But, like, you know, they're very much
Rocky
tied
movies. 7.
together. So, like, this... Maybe less so than any of the other ones. Doesn't feel as much a part of the Rocky thing.
It stands on its own.
It does stand on its own more, but it is still like all right, like kind of the end of this current storyline, and it'll be interesting to see where they go from there.
Yeah, it definitely has the Rocky DNA. So like my kind of the way I felt about Creed initially. So like the first Creed movie, I was not sure. Like it had Michael B. Jordan in it, Coogler was in it or directing it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. But do we really need this to be a Rocky sequel type thing? And then I watched it and I was like, no, it's absolutely deserving of being part of the Rocky universe. And they've done nothing but continually add to the Rocky franchise in a very positive way.
Yeah.
Across the entire trilogy. And I think that's just so important to point out. The other thing with this movie, and I'm going to save the world, my sob story. I just really, for Creed 3, really feel like I have this weird personal connection to it. And we'll get into that a little bit, I think, as we talk more about it. But this movie definitely tugged on some emotional things for me, and in a really strong way. Didn't realize it was going to be this emotionally relevant to me right now, but I was happy that it was.
Yeah.
And Can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, I think this one, what I loved about it is how much it took it beyond just like rivalries.
Yeah.
It's there's this family aspect to it and friendship that becomes family, and like how we deal with our personal demons. I think that it was a good way to kind of show the maturity of Adonis Creed and
what franchise,
what he has become, and what the franchise has become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one of the other little themes is when something is taken away from you, how do you find yourself in something else? Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of that in there too, which I think is really good.
Yeah, the movie does try and do a lot.
Yes, it does. It does.
Which is maybe one of my cons for it, is that there could have been some trimming, and you could have leaned into a couple other the things.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
A little bit more, but no, overall it was a really strong showing. Luke, you've been kind of quiet over there.
Correction, and they said it in chat too. There is only 6.
Okay.
I always get confused because the last one of the Rocky movies is called Rocky Balboa.
So,
it's just 6.
Okay,
just
cool.
6.
I was like, bro, am I losing my freaking mind? It's like, was there a 7th one? I've not seen all the Rocky movies. What am I doing?
I was really impressed with Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. That's what I walked away with the most.
Yeah.
The talent that's there.
Like, to not even just start with a movie that has this much behind it already.
Yeah.
Like
a
legacy.
Baggage, yeah.
A lot of legacies involved. With just a Creed legacy and a Rocky legacy.
Yep.
I think it was super impressive, and he added his own flair to it, with an anime flair, which was awesome.
Very well done.
Yeah.
So awesome. I think I don't know what you guys will think about this though. Well, I still think Michael B. Jordan is really good in this movie. I don't think he was as good in this movie, mainly because he didn't have a director to direct him.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So I kind of missed that a little bit because, man, in those first 2 movies, he's like incredible, and he is still really, really good in this. Mm-hmm. But there were some scenes where it's kind of like, that was interesting choice, and like I just don't know if he was just like, okay, I guess that was good because I did it.
I guess
everybody else did good. I think I did good. It's something I've never even understood how you do if you direct and star in a movie.
Yeah,
it's like, how do you know if we're good?
Whoever your ADs are, got to be willing to.
You gotta have a lot of trust in them.
Yeah, you really gotta be a believer in what they think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But man, I'm so excited to see what else he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we
as
all
an actor
kind of,
and a director.
Yeah, we all kind of like mutually agreed afterwards, like, if Michael B. wanted to just go full-time director, there's a career there for him if he wants it. And
absolutely,
his fingerprints are very clearly all over this movie in a positive way. And I think that's cool. And also, you could add the wanting to say, there's a lot he wants to say.
Yeah.
I think as a creative, and he tries to get it all in this one. And so I mean,
I know that struggle.
Yeah,
I know that struggle as like a writer and being like, I'm gonna pour everything into this, and then it's just like, well, there's too much.
Yeah.
And you have to trim back, and you have to be willing to say
what can I sacrifice?
I'm not gonna talk about this at all.
Yeah.
But it's so that I can really lean into these other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I think he got great performances out of everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I really want to emphasize, like, I don't think he was bad.
No, he's certainly not bad.
I just think it's hard to direct yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
for sure.
But man,
well, and
his family was.
Everybody.
And his daughter.
I was gonna say, he's also acting up against some fantastic performances.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tessa Thompson was great.
Yep.
Majors was
so
amazing, and especially seeing him off of Ant-Man.
Well, and like everything we've seen him in to this point, he's been kind of like, he's Kang, who's this really calculated character. He's, you know, a really kind of charismatic Western guy. He's
anti-hero almost.
Yeah, and like in this, he's just a dick. Like, but he's really good at playing like this
a conniving dick.
Yeah, he's like this guy who really isn't good at talking. He's not good at social events. He doesn't really know how to socialize well, obviously, because he's been in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Like
but
he's really rugged.
Well, not prison, but
like it allows Majors to flourish in a different way than what we've seen him in everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really nice.
I always enjoy. What else has he done any other villainous roles other than Kang? Because I don't feel like I've seen him in villainous roles.
Not really.
And I love it when a character who you have who has been given mainly protagonist roles or secondary protagonist roles or secondary character roles really just have fun with being manipulative, being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Go get ripped, right? Like,
yeah. I don't think
the
he's
man
played
is
another
huge.
Villain.
No.
And
oh man, he's so good into Five Bloods.
He's such a good actor, man.
So it was really good. I think the last thing I had seen him in
was Ant-Man.
No, well, other than Ant-Man,
Lovecraft
was Lovecraft.
Yeah,
he wasn't in Harder They Fall, was he?
Yeah, he's the lead.
Okay. Oh yeah. He was the lead in Harder They Fall. I was like, I'm pretty sure he was in that. No, he was. I just haven't seen it in a while. So
Nat Love.
Oh, Nat.
Like, I don't know. I was just really impressed with his performance.
Yeah, he's really good. And
stop letting me just blabber on.
The other, I think, underrated character in this movie, and I've gushed to you guys about him, but Wood Harris does not do enough. From
yeah.
Old Dookie. I love that he gets called Dookie in this movie. It's so funny. But yeah, Wood Harris is so good. Because one of the things you'll notice when you see Creed 3 is that Sylvester Stallone is not in it, right? That's pretty widely marketed. But Rocky always had these motivational speeches and these moments, and in the training montages, he always had these really good, one-liners that really stuck with you. And in this movie, it's Wood Harris who has those moments, and I think he just does a really, really good job of he's following up a really tough act.
Yeah.
In that kind of role in these films, but Wood Harris does a great job of it, and I don't think that should be undersold. I liked Wood Harris a lot. He also has a line that really spoke to me in this movie, and I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to provide any context.
Ooh.
But there's a moment in the film where Wood Harris is talking to Creed, and he says, "He's showing you who he is. Believe him." Mm-hmm. And man, if I did, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I was just like, oh my gosh, I've been told that so many times in my life, and I just you never take it. You never take that advice. You never want to believe that somebody is that way.
Yeah.
Even if they're showing you all the signs that they are.
Yep.
I think it's an amazing line and an amazing thing to take away from this movie. 2, it's a great kind of counterline to who Creed is, and that he believes in everybody.
Yeah.
Even when he shouldn't.
Yep.
And I think it's so awesome. Great line.
Yes. Yep. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to shout out sound design and sound mixing in this movie. There are a lot of little moments that I think when we talk about those character moments of especially when Creed and I can't remember his name. Damien. When Adonis and Damien have these little moments, there's real subtle stuff in there, and then to contrast that with during the fights, just how physical it sound. The sound feels physical, and it's exaggerated in this really cool way, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And layered on top of a fantastic score. Also.
Unsung heroes of movies. Honestly, they almost never get talked about unless it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't hear him talking. Nolan. Also, shout out to Mila Davis-Kent, who played Amora.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's so good, man.
Yeah, one of the storylines that I wanted to see more of.
Creed 4, baby.
It's a big part of the second act, and then it virtually disappears for the third act because the third act is just so focused on the fight, which is what everyone's there for. But a little bit of heartstring tugging.
Oh, they were bold.
They were working on it for sure. Did you guys have any cons?
Real quick before we get into that, JT, that movie is filmed. The bodybuilder film that he's doing, it's called Magazine Dreams.
Ooh.
It actually just sold last week at Sundance. I remember seeing that headline because I was really excited because Majors is definitely like the budding actor on my favorite actors list.
Yeah.
So yeah, Magazine Dreams. Keep an eye out for it. It's sold, I think, to Searchlight.
Nice.
So yeah. Cons. It's kind of spoilery, I guess, but there is one scene that like it feels like there's a line. I'll say it's my fault. So there's a line between Dame and Creed that's mentioned about letters, and then it's kind of shown later on what like I kind of assumed he knew, but I guess he didn't, and like it was just a weird jump for me. I was like, oh,
it's like the scene needs
it
three more minutes.
It just needs some room to breathe, I think.
Yeah, him and his mom working through some things.
Yeah, and you just don't really get that.
Yeah.
And to me, it wasn't like, oh, this sucks now. It was just kind of like, oh. It was kind of jarring. I was like, oh, I thought that was kind of an assumed thing from Creed, but it wasn't. And if you don't notice it, great, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I noticed it right away, and I was like, ah. But yeah, I think that's probably one of my cons.
I don't think they're cons.
More nitpicks?
Not even nitpicks. They're just two things I missed. But they're things you really couldn't. Well, one you probably could have. But things you couldn't get around, which is one, Sylvester Stallone isn't in the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Which
and you can feel that absence.
You feel it.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like bummer.
Yeah.
But like he said, he wasn't going to be in it. And there's the whole rights issue with the producer and all that. Which stinks. So bad for Sylvester Stallone, and with all that, because he cares a lot about these Rocky and Creed movies, and I think he said if they can get it worked out and the script calls for him to be in Creed 4, he'd do it.
Yeah.
The other thing I missed was Ludwig scoring the movie. I feel like we didn't get those themes as much in this. Unless I totally missed it, the Champion theme isn't even in the movie. The dun 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 dun.
It's not. If it is, it's not super obvious.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Like I don't remember being like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's some way more subtle Creed themes in the first two movies, and I feel like I could never pick them out.
Yeah, in Creed's 1 and 2, like there's the little excuse me, the little motif that you kind of get between like transitioning scenes, or like in the montage you get it every now and again. Like you don't really have that in this. It's there a few times, like when they do their Philly staircase scene with him on Hollywood Hill.
Yeah.
You get it there.
Yeah,
like
it's the big moment.
It's there when it's supposed to be. But like I agree with you. What they've done in Creed 1 and 2, it's kind of sprinkled throughout, and you kind of like it starts playing in the back of your head. It's like this little track that you hear to yourself when he's running down the street with the four-wheelers. And like you get all these moments, and you just don't really have that in this.
Yeah, the soundtrack was still good.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
It was just missed.
Ludwig's definitely one of the good ones.
He's good at his job.
Yes, he's very good at his job. Yeah.
And then the other stuff you've kind of said too, like with a little too much going on and the letter stuff.
No.
Yeah.
But I did see too. JT, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I'm assuming that's in reference to the anime comment. There is a very, very clear anime feel, and it happens the minute it starts. You're like, oh man, this is... Because, like, they talked it up, right? They're like, yeah, I'd put a little anime touch on it. And he had talked it up in, like, all the press. The minute the movie starts, you're like, oh, yeah, this is here.
Yeah.
And I leaned over to Luke, and I was like, tell me again how anime can't work in live action.
Will Michael B. Jordan be the first one to give us a live action anime?
Because it's freaking awesome.
Alita was good. Alita was good.
Oh.
But few and far between.
JT was talking about watching the Rocky movies again. You should. Those are good movies. A lot of fun.
They are. Yeah.
Except 5.
What's your guys's... Fair enough. We can talk some spoilers here just for a minute, but before we do that, what are your guys's fanboy ratings?
It's a fanboy worthy for me.
Yeah. Nah, I'll give it a booyah. Fine. I'm cool with it.
I love it.
I'm cool with it.
Leading off strong.
I like it a lot. I can't wait to watch it again.
I liked it a lot too. I'm gonna give it. It's a really high fanboy worthy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a sports movie.
Nothing wrong with that.
Michael B. Jordan in them.
I totally endorse this as a booyah. Yeah. Just for me, it felt just a little underneath. But yeah, really, really good. Definitely recommend it. And Easton in the chat says Alita is great.
Need Alita too. Need it.
Directed by Michael B. Jordan.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, real quick, spoilers. I loved the ending of this movie. There was reconciliation, there was respect, there was moving on when Adonis went into Damien's locker room and
what a great scene.
Talked with him about talk through stuff. That was great.
Also seen Warrior Easton. It's a good movie.
Oh, Warrior's fantastic. Yeah. No, I would put Warrior above this, but that's...
I would put Warrior above a lot of sports movies.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. So, but there was that, and then the only other thing for me that ended up being a con that we were kind of talking about was the stuff with the mom.
Yeah.
I don't think I needed his mom to pass away.
Yeah, it
just feels cliche.
Well, and it's very clearly right after Dame's kind of insulting, you're alone now thing, and then his mom dies. It's okay, so we're just going to strip him of everyone. I mean, everything short of his wife and daughter leaving him, right? And it was okay, we get it.
Yeah.
It's okay. We understand what you're doing. I was okay with her. This very much feels like a Creed stepping out on his own kind of movie as a whole. So thematically, I think it makes sense to get rid of some legacy characters. But at the same time, I don't think it needed to happen in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to touch on that locker room scene at the end. I love the really cool Creed's looking around, everybody's celebrating, and you just see the gears turning. Man, Dame's in there probably alone. And the one thing the whole movie is about running out on his friend. It's just done so well.
Mm-hmm.
The other scene, before the first heavyweight title fight between Dame and Chavez, when Creed goes and sees Dame and then walks out,
and they stop,
and they both stop and they kind of look at the wall.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, that's so sick. It's such a small thing, but I was like, that's really cool.
It's a great moment.
They both have unspoken
it's just
words, and they can't do it at that point.
Yep. They gotta fight each other first.
You have to
Creed
go through 12 rounds of brutal
beating the hell out of each other. Creed very clearly wants to say something to him. Dame is open to listen, but they'll never cross it. So awesome.
Mm-hmm. I really liked the scene between Creed and Bianca. I guess you'd say Adonis and Bianca. They're both technically Creeds. Kind of after his mom died, and he was telling her about Leon.
Oh, frick. Dude, that scene, it made me cry. That's the scene.
That's the acting scene. One of the acting scenes. And
right.
Just goes,
yeah, the mom dies, and I was like, okay, not gonna cry here. I mean, it's sad, but I'm not gonna cry here. But yeah, that scene. Go ahead. Just
No,
wrecked
I mean,
me. Wrecked me.
Yep, just like you gotta forgive yourself, which is kind of a theme going throughout the movie.
Yep.
And how like it goes into the locker room scene at the end. Like
Yeah.
you can't blame yourself. He's like, well, you can't blame yourself either.
Yeah.
Like it gets that reconciliation. Oh my gosh, my heart.
There's also like in there, Bianca kind of talks about losing the ability to perform in that scene too, and she kind of talks to Dame about it at a certain point, which she's kind of like this cathartic character for both Dame and Adonis, which is really cool. And I'm glad they didn't do the thing where Dame tries to like move in on her. Thank you for not doing that. I just always think that's so. It's too like.
I got your belt, now I got your girl.
Yeah, it's like like Fast and Furious, color by numbers, right? Like it's one of those things. Like I love that they don't do that. But Bianca has this moment, and if you're new here, I'm currently going through an Achilles rupture recovery, and I've lost the ability to do a lot of the things that I would consider my outlets physically. Which Bianca talks about, losing the ability to perform, losing that outlet for herself, and having to channel that into something different. And like one of the things that I've struggled with emotionally throughout this recovery is exactly that, losing the things that I've loved for so long that now I won't really get back. Like I'll get them back in a sense, but I'll never get them back in the way that I had them before. And like kind of like her moving into like a producer role where she now produces music instead of performing it, and it just looks different. And like that was kind of a there's moments throughout this movie where I feel like they're talking to me. And there's not a lot of movies that do that. And I think that's why it lands on a booyah. But that scene, that's why I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what, I'll say it. I don't care. My wife's talking to me about at home. Like when I'm struggling, is like, you just have to find what scratches that itch for you again. And I just thought that was so good. So well done. There's so many good moments. And the end scene too, how it all ties together. It's awesome, man. I'll buy this one day one. Probably go see it again too.
Yeah, I want to get Stephanie. Stephanie wants to watch.
Yeah, I gotta get Dana to
1
go
and
see it.
2, and I'm ready to rewatch those and then take her back to 3.
Dude, I watched 1 and 2 throughout the week. They are so good. There's like parts I forgot about.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly forgot the storyline of Rocky having cancer, and that started, I was like, oh no!
Yeah.
And then the second one started, and Amara's born, and they're like, we need to run the test, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that she's deaf. Just like instantly broke down again, all these things I forgot. Some of my favorite moments, though, too, in Creed 3 were in between Adonis and Amara. Like, when he's teaching her to box in the middle of the movie. But then also, like, at the end when they have their little fight.
Yeah.
It was so good. And now I'm waiting for
Amara.
the next generation, the version of Amara where we got this girl deaf boxer and, like, what she's going to have to overcome to prove that she's the best.
Right.
Give it to me.
Oh my God. I'm not prepared.
Yeah, Yep.
Not prepared. Okay, well,
I'm prepared to just bawl.
We all
also just the fight, the final third act fight.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Got the Dragon Ball punch.
I sent you guys that picture.
Yes.
And then like how it's like flashing back into their past too at the same time, and like going through memories almost.
Yeah.
Like how when he's just wailing on Dame, he's punching the bed.
Yeah.
That they like practiced on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just. It was so different than what you're used to, and I loved it.
And they sap kind of the score out of it too.
Yeah.
In that scene, and they take the crowd out of it. It's just them in an empty arena. Dark. And you're like, whoa.
This is personal.
Yeah, it goes back to that idea that it's not just an adversary, right? It's not just this guy that is from Russia or wherever that is just big.
It's not somebody from Rocky's past.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, also...
The Spider-Man problem.
Yeah.
It's not Iron Man's problem.
I loved that Drago was in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
Young Drago.
He was used great.
I didn't know he was going to be in it, but and then they're buds.
Yes.
Like, they're colleagues that fight.
They're just helping each other out. Yeah.
Yep.
It's great. And like how he trains with them. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing that I kind of really liked, and I don't know if you guys have thought about this, and they kind of even allude to it in the movie. Like they gave Rocky a chance to fight Apollo. This movie's Rocky 1, but flipped. We're following Apollo instead of Rocky. Rocky's the bad guy.
Oh, that is kind of a cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of Rocky 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Combined, but like, the underdog is like the villain.
Yeah. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way.
I really liked that.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's cool.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. No, all in all, Creed 3, man, great experience.
Great movie.
Definitely recommend. Go
See it on an IMAX too if you can.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Or in a loud theater.
Some of those punches would happen. You're just like, ouch. Like when he punches him in the shoulder, I was just like, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that angle. I had to watch that. My shoulder hurts now.
It was excellent.
Yes.
Definitely a recommendation from all of us.
Good work.
Well done.
Okay, another movie that may not be getting a recommendation from any of us is our next review, Cocaine Bear.
Oh, I thought you guys both liked it.
Oh, I was just...
No, it's fine.
Oh, just throwing a tease out
I
there.
was just trying to be controversial, Luke.
Don't worry, I got
You gotta get the people going. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's weird to talk about Cocaine Bear after something as good as Creed 3.
Look, it's not trying to be Creed.
But right, it's not trying to be anything crazy.
I could have tried a little harder.
I'll just say my rating. It's a Matthew McConaughey for me. I mean, it's fine. It's different than what I expected it to be, but I still had a good time with it.
Yeah, I would probably put it right where you're at. If you're into kind of these
Dumb movies?
sci-fi-esque,
Sci-Fi Channel-esque.
Yeah. Sharknado and you like those kind of dumb thing,
horror
Geostorm.
Things,
Like, they're obviously not. It's very different than something like Geostorm, but it's on that same it's a little ridiculous, and it's just if you're into that kind of movie where The Meg's a great example.
Yeah.
Kind of
Deep
those
Blue
monster features where it's usually an animal, it's going crazy, and there's a group of people that have to either escape it or survive it, and that's what this is. It doesn't try to be. I don't think it really tries to be anything else.
Nope.
And I think it does a good job.
No.
And Luke, go ahead.
Yep.
Rant incoming.
Tyler,
Yes.
what do I hate?
The rules of slasher film.
Nope, just not the rules. I hate slasher films.
Yes.
Mainly because of the rules. You are right.
Yes.
I thought I was watching a comedy going into this.
The marketing definitely, I think, acts kind of against what this movie is, and that's what I alluded to with.
Sure.
I thought I was getting something different, so I would agree with Luke in that regard. That going in, I was like, they even cast the TikTok guy. Like, I thought this was a comedy, right? So I was like, going into it, I was like, okay, this will be funny. And
before we walked in, I was like, I'm not that excited, but I think it'll be better than I think. It'll be better than I think it is because I think it'll be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I laughed once. In a pre-credit joke. Come on.
Shark
Great
Puss.
joke though. Yeah, I hate slasher movies, and this is pretty much just a slasher movie.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, it leans more slasher than a comedy for sure.
Yeah.
And I could have used a little more intelligence in the movie, I think. I think there's actually something that could have been done to make it interesting. Crawl was a good movie.
Yeah.
A movie about people stuck in the basement with alligators during a hurricane. We went to see that because, the reviews were good. We were there's no way.
It was like at 89 or 90%. We were like, what?
We walked out there, we were like, that was good.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have done something like that. But it's just it was just so nonsensical. I know that the premise is that. It's stupid. I get that. But then, I read what the true story is, and that it's just a bear that overdosed on cocaine, and that's it. And I'm just like, that's what you came up with? A 90-minute movie with, 25 characters? Oh, it's condense.
I liked it.
Keep it simple, stupid.
I liked it.
This movie felt so complicated.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I enjoyed watching everyone come from a million miles away to converge
on this bear.
Listen, I don't
the bear that teleports around the
like. I don't want to. Oh,
he's over here.
Teleporting
Now
bears
he's over
driving
here.
me crazy. You know what though is like even worse in my opinion, and this is like basic script writing. I would think. Maybe spoilers. So if you don't want to know about Cocaine Bear. Move on to the next section, I guess, or fast forward. So there's a point in the movie where the bear attacks the little lodge place. People die. Somebody's shot. And hold on, I need to even back up. Before that, there's the bathroom fight, and they leave with the weird bleached-haired kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To head to the gazebo, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the bear attack. Then the detective shows up at the lodge after that. The detective is the first one to show up at the gazebo. What took our drug dealer so long to get there?
Obviously it was because
what route did they take?
Bleach Boy and Alden Ehrenreich were just having such a good time connecting. They were bonding. They took the long way around.
They played 20 questions.
Come on, man.
I don't think they thought a lick of it. And it's...
It could be one of those things.
Even the bear beat them there. Like
the bear can
was
teleport.
Oh my gosh. Silently teleport everywhere. Gosh, I hate slasher movies so much.
The only thing that I really think it wouldn't be as well received, sans Luke, of course. I really wish one of the kids had gotten killed.
Yeah.
Just because it would have added a wrinkle in it. Like, as soon as you know both of them are safe, you're like, okay, I see where this is going.
Right.
But, like, to take one of them out would have been like, oh, this is really interesting.
Yeah. They're not afraid to make controversial decisions.
Right?
You know what I would have done?
But I don't think it would have probably tested well, and it would have changed it anyways.
I think really what it comes down to is there's too many characters in the movie.
There are a lot.
Take out
That's fair.
The drug dealers and have it be girls lost in the woods. There's bears. We're stuck out here. Bear. Cocaine bear killed us. Bad news.
Cocaine bear.
And like,
bad news bear.
Like,
Berenstein bear.
Is that what I said? Is that what I sounded like?
No. I just...
Bear dude. No, like, have it like, hey, we went out searching for this girl lost in the national forest, and we're being slaughtered. Like, things aren't going good. Or, since, like, cocaine stuff happened, I think this would be even better. They're out there, and drug dealers, they meet up. Bear starts taking them out.
And they have to work together.
No.
Because family.
Family's biding their time, because the bear is a good guy and knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Also, like there's
Vin
just...
Diesel shows up in a Charger, and it all changes.
The end of this movie did have me feeling a little bit like Jurassic Park, where it's like, I'm glad that, like, humans, yay, but also, like, nature, yay! Like, I can't be mad at a bear who does cocaine. It's not actively knowing what it's doing.
Right?
It's just trying to feed its cubs.
It's just trying to eat. It just wants to get some extra padding on for winter.
Dude, that is hilarious. So like, first of all, bear wouldn't overdose, but those little cubs just sitting in the little bags going, it's like, they'd be dead quick. But yeah, I guess I just couldn't buy into it.
That's fair. Look, I think it's a hard sell or a big sell. Maybe not hard sell, but it's a big sell. And if you're not into it, I get it. I get it. For sure.
The kids were so bad. Listen, I don't want to just like rag on children actors, but like, dang, bad. My ratings is straight to streaming. I do want to say two good things about it.
Yeah.
Music. Great soundtrack. It's Mark Mothersbaugh, who's awesome.
Vibing with it.
I was really liking it.
Nice.
And then also, the bear looked good.
Yeah.
The bear looked really good. And
Very-
like they
yeah.
used a dude in a suit for a couple things, or it's like not the whole bear. Like when it grabs the food, it's like, oh, that was a dude. Like I like stuff like that.
Right.
But when the bear's just like walking around, it's like, this is good stuff. This is good work. Yeah, those were my 2 positives.
Nice. Yeah, the bear looked great.
Just shoot the bear, man. Just shoot the bear.
I just loved all those, like, the whole scene. I think my favorite scene, Luke's gonna hate this, is the scene where it's the detective on the roof,
Oh my gosh.
the drug dealers on the ground.
I loved the detective.
The
He's so
the
wholesome.
bear like collapsing on top of Alden, and
And
they're,
the
like,
dude
trying to
literally
figure
held the
out-
gun right next to the bear, and he's just like listening to it. It's like, dude, shoot the bear. It's a cocaine bear, so take a liberty. It's high. It can take a bullet. You wake it up. It goes even more crazy.
Oh.
I would have been okay with that.
I mean, they literally show the bear catching a bullet with his mouth. So
yeah, it's
that was almost bad.
Luke about lost his computer there.
But yeah,
Even worse, I almost lost my Mountain Dew.
computer can be replaced. Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew's
can't.
forever.
Irreplaceable.
Well, so maybe if you're really into these kind of movies, we would recommend.
Yeah.
2 of us would recommend you seeing it. The other one might say, wait till it's on a streamer,
I think
which
this-
it'll definitely be on a streamer.
I think this is a perfect streaming movie.
It is, yeah.
I think it should have just been on a streamer.
Yeah.
I probably would have liked it more if I would just been like, oh yeah,
Watching it at home,
Netflix.
kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
goofing off or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, let's move over to the news.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I think you specifically, Tyler, before the show started, were like, hey, can we have a news section? I've got something to share.
What?
I don't know.
I was like, where was I for this?
I
I
don't
do have 2 news stories,
See,
but
I
I still
told you.
forgot that there was like a news section in this.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
I know, that's a breaking news.
Oh.
What?
The
Devil
Devil
in the White City show is dead at Hulu.
no longer
It's a really interesting story. Do go on, did a episode. It's awesome.
gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Somebody will
Leo
buy it.
owns the rights though.
Producers ABC Signature plans to shop it. It'll get picked up somewhere else.
Dude, I hope Apple
Yeah.
gets it.
It'll get picked
It's
up. somewhere
Leo
else.
DiCaprio and
Yeah.
Scorsese.
Dude,
Yeah.
what if Apple takes it? Because they just did Killers of the Flower Moon with
Yeah.
that group. I bet Apple might.
I
pick
could
it
see
up.
Apple picking that
I'd
up.
feel way better about it at Apple than Hulu.
I feel like there's going to be a bidding war in between Apple and HBO for that.
Probably. It's
Ooh,
like
right
right up there.
HBO would be good too.
I'm fine with both of those.
Either one. Cool. All right. So that was our breaking news story. I just pulled it up. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I got one. The Hogwarts Legacy Last Gen and Switch editions have been delayed to May 5th. They're trying to get better performance because they know people love it on the current gen consoles, and they really. We'll get to that, Easton. They really. Gosh dang it! What was it? Oh, and they really want to get the performance right for last gen consoles. And the other one I have. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4 was announced yesterday. Look, I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan in the world, but I do love the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. Like my friends and I, we would all get together at someone's house and we would just winner stays on the controller and we would play this game for hours. So when this was announced, I was like, no way, they're making another one. I'm so excited for this. It's like a 3D fighter. I'm fired up. It'll be fun.
Woo.
Woo!
Nice.
Especially with all the new characters that have been introduced since the last one. It'll be fun.
Awesome. Luke, did you have any news stories?
I have one.
Okay.
Went into the old Google and I'm going to read this, okay?
Okay.
Twister 2 release date is set to be released on July 19th, 2024. Twister 2 is set to follow Twister and continue the story of Helen Hunt's Dr. Joanne Harding. The main star in Twister 2 cast will be Helen Hunt, who will reprise her role as Joe from the first movie! Let's go, baby! 7 days ago!
We did it!
No source on that. It's just at the top of Google, so that means it's true.
Yeah!
Let's go, baby.
She's back.
Oh,
501 days away. So hopefully it doesn't get canceled. I'm ready, baby.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
I've been waiting for that one for so long. What a great day.
We got to celebrate this like we just won the Super Bowl.
My team did win the Super Bowl, and it honestly was a lot better than that. Prefer the Super Bowl.
Don't know what that feels like.
That's cool.
Feels
That's
pretty
cool.
good. You
My
know?
favorite teams won the Stanley Cup in my lifetime, so that was dope. I cried.
Yeah.
I've watched like 2 games of hockey. One was with you at the Thunder game.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
if we don't have any more news stories, we do have a couple Fanbox questions before we get into our weekly recaps. What is the fish thing, Luke?
The fish thing is called a puka.
A puka.
It is a...
Is it a ghost-like thing?
No, it's not. It is a computer fish thing from the futuristic city on Neptune called Neomuna. It's from Destiny 2.
Okay.
This was the collector's edition item that came with Destiny 2 Lightfall,
Awesome.
Which I've been playing a lot this week.
I know. We here in a few minutes. We're gonna get to hear a little bit more about what your thoughts are on that. So yes, thank you for sharing the fish thing with the puka with us and letting us have it on the set here today.
Tuki.
It's so cute.
The Destiny Collector's Edition stuff is always so cool.
This Hive Ghost is for Witch Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2 I've gotten.
I have the.
You've got the Ghost from...
No, it's not a.
I thought you had the Ghost from just D2 Vanilla.
It didn't come with a ghost. It came with the booklet and all it came with a bunch of stuff, but it didn't come with it. The ghost was a separate thing, like an Amazon Alexa special collab that I got years later for like $5.
Worth it.
But another Fanbox question.
Oh, yes, that's true. Clancy Brown was cast in The Penguin. I forgot about this.
He was?
Yeah, he's playing...
Baroque and Roller over there throwing down some news that we forgot.
Frick, he's playing one of the...
Maroney.
Maroney, yes.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Um,
Love Clancy Brown.
Yeah, he's playing Maroney.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Easton has another Fanbox question. After playing what you've played and knowing what is coming out, what do you think your personal favorite game of the year will be?
Already?
Do you have a prediction?
I don't know if I have a full prediction here, but I have one.
Gotham Knights hasn't just been like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever.
Well, that came out last year, so no.
Shoot, I was.
What an idiot!
No, I think Octopath Traveler 2 definitely has shot up my expectation list.
Has the potential.
Yeah, it's just really fun, really good, and really pretty to look at with amazing music. Yeah, that one might be my surprise of the year. The one I expect is probably either Tears of the Kingdom or Starfield, or like the 2 early projections, just because I'm very excited for those. But also it could be the biggest letdowns. So
that's true. There's also Star Wars Jedi Survivor in the mix.
Yep.
It's gonna be
in Alan Wake 2.
That'll be good.
Rumored.
Not great.
Not confirmed, but rumored.
Yeah.
If everything goes according to plan, where every game is
good,
great, it would be Starfield. That's my most anticipated.
Yeah.
If the rest of the games throughout the year are total dog water, though, the game of the year will be Atomic Rush. Or,
Hi-Fi Rush?
I was reading Atomic Heart, which I only play for an Hi-Fi Rush.
Baroque, yeah, man. It's... You got all your collector's edition stuff, right? Like... Yeah, it's fantastic. How many times have you bumped that soundtrack, though? That's the real question.
Dead Space.
Oh, dude, the Dead Space remake is apparently really good.
Yeah.
Is it a remake that counts, though? For
Either of you gonna do Diablo?
I probably will.
Yeah.
It just depends, because like Starfield could end up coming out like within weeks of that, and so that kind of impacts things. But I am looking forward to Diablo. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah,
the changes they've made, I think, look awesome.
Awesome.
Hogwarts Legacy was okay in my opinion.
I've enjoyed it a lot. I don't anticipate it being
I don't think it'd be like game of the year for me.
Game of the year for me, but I have had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I think it's a really good game, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, who knows? Knowing me, I'll play 10 minutes of every other game that comes out and be like, yeah, it's good.
You know what you can play? Control.
Yeah. It's a good game. You should check it out.
I'll allow it to be your game of the year if you beat it. Which you said you would this year because you're on contract now because it was what you had to do since you were a big old loser the first time we did predictions. Sorry, that came out extremely mean.
I love it. No, bring that spice.
If Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is game of the year, I'll eat something I don't like.
Sour cream.
Sure.
Straight up.
Oh.
Easton, don't bring your T-Lao Part 2 stuff here. I already know I need to play it. I'm working on it. I got Luke's copy. I'm borrowing it. I need a break from after watching the show, like to collect myself emotionally before I take myself on that journey.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine it's going to be any easier. So.
All right. Well, let's wrap up the show with kind of what we did this week. We have some mini reviews this week. Tyler, why don't you go first? Did you do anything?
Yeah. So I tried a new game because there's been, a lot of games coming out the last few weeks, and I was like, well, I'll try this out. It's getting good reviews. I booted up Wulong Fallen Dynasty on Game Pass. It's kind of like it's Team Ninja. They make Neo. It's like a Souls-like. Just play Elden Ring. It just feels so much better to play. I couldn't stick with it because of how bad I thought it felt to play. Like, it just didn't feel good. Like, movement didn't feel like how I wanted it to. There wasn't enough settings in the camera to move it to like how I wanted it to be. The combat I didn't make it very far, but like I definitely could tell like it wasn't something I was going to enjoy.
Right.
I wasn't a big fan of the controls. There wasn't anything about it that made me go, I should keep playing this. It was kind of like I've played enough. I'm okay. I played like 20 minutes and I was like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Good. So that's it. Other than that, I've just been playing Hogwarts and Octopath. Did the third trial in Hogwarts. Stylistically really cool. Also kind of dumb.
All right. Well, I haven't gotten there yet, so.
Well, I think you'll be like, yo, visually this is dope. And then you'll get to a point where you'll be like,
okay.
Oh. But yeah, like visually, it's by far the coolest one I've done so far.
I'm just really curious what your thoughts will be when you like get to the final boss fight.
Okay.
Is that it? It happens like it starts, and I was just like, why?
I need to beat it quickly so I can get back on control, I guess. No. I'll work on that. I'll work on that.
Yes.
I did a few things this week. Man, I was at the movie theater 4 times in 4 days.
Woo!
Making that Regal Unlimited.
I made my monthly quota last week.
Pay for itself. So, other than the things that we've already talked about, I went and saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. In Boots. With my family. It was like a Friday night, spur of the moment. Like, what should we do? Oh, let's go watch a movie. And that's like the only one for kids that's out right now. Fantastic movie.
Why not Cocaine Bear?
Yeah, dude.
She asked about Cocaine. She was like, "What did you go see?" Well, she asked Stephanie. She asked my wife, "What did I go see?" She's like, "Cocaine Bear." She's like, "What's cocaine?" And she's like, "It's a drug." And so then and then at that point she's like, "You have to talk to your dad about it." So like, we had to kind of explain what drugs were. It's very complicated.
That's kind of awesome.
So next time you guys are like over, ask her if she like, what did your dad think of Cocaine Bear? Because I'm curious what she remembers from that conversation.
What did your dad think of cocaine?
Oh yeah, he went to the theater once. He said he really liked it.
It's legal in Canada.
Bizarre. Anyways, Puss in Boots.
I'm moving to Canada.
Puss in Boots is actually really freaking good.
Yes.
A great story, great animation, beautiful style. The wolf in this is terrifying. Like, so much so, like, it's the perfect, like, right on the edge where, like, my kid was, like, leaning over to me. Was like, I don't know if I want to watch. But then she'd always, like, snap back. So it's, like, it just plays, like, just dark enough for, I think, kids. While at the same time being, like, legit scary. I also think the messages in this are really, really, really healthy and really good for people of all ages. I mean, adults. I think kids are not going to take some of that stuff like adults will understand it. But I was even really thrilled with like the performances of like John Mulaney, who's kind of the antagonist. Whoever did the dog, I was really afraid I was going to hate the dog. Loved the dog. So I hate those little like squeaky side characters. Dog was great because you know what? That Puss needs therapy, and the dog is there to give him therapy.
Therapy dog.
He's a therapy dog. Like that's his dream.
Question.
Good relationships. Yes.
Do I need to see the first
No.
Puss in Boots?
No.
First what?
Absolutely not.
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. You don't need to see the first Puss in Boots.
Okay, good.
You don't need to see him in Shrek.
I just hear the honest trailers, guy, every time you do it.
Puss in Boots.
I don't recognize the guy who does... So much like Shrek, they incorporate lots of other fairy tale characters and elements into this. So, like, Jiminy Cricket's in this as, like, this ethical cricket that John Mulaney's character is captured. He's kind of a collector of magical items. And he is fantastic throughout, like, the second act when he's around. He does not have very many lines, but he's so funny. And he's got this, like, I don't know, very 1950s TV-esque vibe. Like, he feels like a very old school character, and he's just kind of there sitting on the bad guy's shoulder, encouraging the bad guy to do good things, and the bad guy is just like, oh, well, thanks for the advice, you know, and then does the bad thing, and this cricket is just slowly going insane, and it's great.
Classic.
The other characters I thought were all really good, but yeah, definitely recommend. I'd give it a fanboy worthy, really easily, really easy fanboy worthy. The other movie I went and saw this week was Women Talking. Up for 2 Oscars, Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Picture. It is going to be out. It's out to rent or buy digitally now. And if you're listening to this, I think you can even get it physically at this point. It's a pretty personal story to me, coming from a faith that is kind of a like the group of women who this story is around come from a very similar faith denomination.
Do they say in the movie what it is?
They don't. They keep
Okay.
it pretty vague, and I think that helps with its kind of wider, like, not appeal, but application, I guess. It's really powerful because it's just a good opportunity for us, and when I say us, I mean all people, but yeah.
In the book, it's clearly defined.
Yeah, and if you're so in the book it's very clearly a Mennonite community, and if you are aware of what Mennonite dress is, like you can pick up on it. Like, they don't shy away from it, but they just don't straight up like, oh, this is
We are Mennonites,
or like there's not like a big lower thirds title, Mennonite Colony, Bolivia, 2010.
It's Wednesday. We're going to the Mennonite Club.
But it's just, I think it's a healthy reminder that we, as men, need to stop and listen. Specifically to women, but to anyone who has been disenfranchised by the systems we have put in place. Systemic problems exist in our world, and they don't get better if we don't talk about them. So yeah, there's not much to talk about other than like there's just really good performances. It's really good writing, and I just think it's a healthy conversation to be having now.
This is our Creed episode, so we can bring in a Creed quote. You know you can't listen while you're talking? Know that? Rocky says that in the first Creed movie.
That's right. That's right. I probably would give this, like, personally, this is a booyah. And, like,
I get that.
It's one that, like, I will have and I will cherish and I will watch again and again because I love to be reminded of these things. For most people, it's probably, like, I would probably rate it more like a fanboy worthy. Like, it's something I think you should watch. But it's definitely not a movie for everyone. But very, very powerful. I loved it.
I remember
Made me cry.
Remember when I read the IMDb tag or whatever? It was like, Mennonite community, and I was like, interest just shot way up because like I come from that too.
Yeah,
like we're related actually, way back. But
eighth. What did we say?
Eighth cousins.
Yeah.
High five.
High five.
Go family.
And this guy doesn't like the Fast movies.
Well, he hates family, so
yeah.
True.
But yeah, I really want to see that, and Puss in Boots. Those are both two that I'm like, I need to get to those.
Yeah, and I think they're both available at this point.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Home.
I was not really too concerned about seeing women talking. Puss in Boots definitely very high on my list. You definitely sold me on women talking. I think it's one I would like to watch with Dana, and I think she would probably feel similarly to you.
It's one of those that like I did.
Anything that moves her moves me.
Sure.
So.
Well, and I watched it by myself.
Yeah.
But like immediately
in
after,
a dark room, in a closet under the stairs.
Actually,
blink twice if you need help.
How else are you supposed to watch movies?
In a theater with a bunch of older people. But
actually, low-key really like doing that.
My
people aren't annoying in theaters.
My mom had seen it. And so I immediately texted her and had a really good conversation with her. I want to watch it with Stephanie and have a conversation with her because I think while there's a large spectrum of like what it means to be a Mennonite and like us, we don't live in that kind of community.
My mom doesn't wear a bonnet.
Right.
Neither does my wife.
We're not horse and buggy Mennonites.
They don't live very far away from us.
They don't. What I will say is a lot of our systems are built on the same foundations. And so I want to take the opportunity, since it's in the zeitgeist of the moment, to watch this film and then just ask, what is your experience? Not with the film, but with your life, with our, with our faith. How is this? Do you feel like there's a connection there? Because, like you said, you can't listen if all you're doing is talking. So
it's impossible. Quotes from
that's all I did this week. Luke, talk to us about Lightfall, my man.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I saved best for last.
Okay, well,
end this thing on a really positive note. So.
Actually, we will. I will
Good.
end on the positive note. Yeah, if you have interest in Destiny, I feel like you've kind of heard what's going on in the world of Bungie and Destiny right now. It is extremely mixed. But in that regard, everybody's pretty much on the same page on what they're mixed about. Destiny 2 Lightfall is the penultimate episode to Bungie's Destiny 10-year saga, Light and Darkness saga. And it just... It is such a disappointment. The narrative, it it feels like how you almost feel like after a car wreck. You're just like sore, but it's like mentally almost.
Yeah.
Or it's just like, what happened? How did this happen? What? This didn't. And a lot of that is because it's a lot of whiplash. Because the Witch Queen, in my opinion, is the best narrative. I don't think it's the best expansion. The best narrative that Bungie has done for Destiny.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It was this standalone story. You're investigating huge mysteries that were resolved, giant twists that you're just like, oh my goodness, there's no way. It all made sense. And then throughout the year, we got these seasonal stories, highs and lows, but and then it all led to Lightfall, and then here we are. It starts off with this huge space battle. You're on a ship with Osiris, and you get launched to Neomuna, and then just nothing happens. It's 8 missions of just nothing. Just, I guess if something happens, is you learn how to use Strand. Man, I'm struggling over here with this drink. You're looking for something called the Veil. 8 missions happen, and you still have no idea what it is by the time it ends. And you finish it, and I think one of the biggest problems with the campaign, the narrative, is it only brings questions and 0 answers to anything before or asked during the story.
Yeah.
So you're just confused. It's like, what happened? What was the point of this? What is the witness even doing? What is that? What the heck is the Veil? What are these Cloud Striders doing here? And why won't they tell me about the Veil? And it was just really a really big disappointment. When I beat the campaign, I'll read my tweet. Very sad. I was very sad, and I was like mad too.
Sad man.
How do I get to my profile? There it is. Let's see. What did I say? Destiny 2 Lightfall, leaving me feeling all kinds of things. Disappointed, frustrated, annoyed. Such a letdown. The entire campaign is just a tutorial for Strand, and I just don't think even that is implemented well. Like, even when you get there, they're just like, oh, what are all these lines in the sky? Oh, it's a new ability. And then the next, 8 missions are either a side quest for the Cloud Striders, or you figuring out how to use Strand. And then all of a sudden, it's the last mission. It's like, oh, we gotta go get the Veil.
Yeah. Oh.
And yeah, it was really, really, really disappointing. And then Strand 2, which I'll get to later, which is a positive overall, I think isn't implemented well into the campaign because it's a neutered version of Strand. You're given the version of Strand they give you. You have to use the grapple. You don't get to pick your fragments. There's no customization in your subclass. Which
That's
is
really interesting.
It's one of the points of Destiny.
It's very different than anything else they've done with subclasses.
Like,
even Stasis, right? Like,
well, Stasis was kind of similar-ish. It just was barely worked into the narrative.
Right.
Whereas this was
the narrative's
all around. The narrative was Strand.
Okay.
And it's the penultimate episode. Like, this is where you learn the big thing.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap, Thanos arrived. He's looking for the Infinity Stones, but I have no idea what an Infinity Stone is. I've never heard of them. Oh, he used them. Okay. Something happened. And it just feels like a Strand tutorial. It feels like it's a lead into the seasonal storylines. The seasonal storyline for this season is way more interesting than whatever Lightfall was.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Because, you start Lightfall off, and the Witness, who's the main bad guy
right
for Destiny at this moment, he's the one who controls the darkness. He comes to Earth, and he is attacking the Traveler. And we leave.
Yeah,
it's like I think there's bigger things going on. And I don't want to go too on about it because I feel like I will continually get frustrated, and I do want to talk about the good things that are in this expansion because there is a lot of good.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I think the missions you do post campaign are fun. There's some fun exotic missions. There's a really interesting one where it's almost like sparrow racing.
Ooh.
Where you're like on a timer and you have to kill Vex while sparrowing through the Vex network and beat a timer, and then you do it again, and there's a boss at the end. I had a lot of fun with that.
That's pretty cool.
Sound
like I'd be down for that.
Okay, let's just talk about like the good things now. Narrative, super disappointing, really big bummer. Lost a lot of faith in Bungie for Final Shape, honestly, and I'm nervous. The good, Strand. Strand is awesome, and I was kind of a big old doubter because I main a Titan, and I've only really played Titan. I was like, oh great, here we go, another rowing super, another punchy class, whatever. It's actually really, really fun.
Nice.
And, I'm okay with eating crow on that. I've been having a blast just suspending everything. It's a better version of stasis. I feel like I won't use stasis anymore because I can just use Strand.
Yeah.
But I'm so fast. And if you want to, you can grapple. The grapple is really cool how they implemented it. You can just grapple anything. You can grapple a person. You can grapple like a Cabal Thresher and it'll pull you. You can grapple a Sparrow. Anything. And there's grapple points that you can grapple onto as well, and it like refunds your grenade energy because grapple is your grenade. Quality of life updates were fantastic this year. We've got loadouts. Oh my gosh. It's been a long time coming, and it's so amazing. I can just switch my loadout immediately and just have what I want.
Do you have to have all of the items on your character?
I don't know. It might pull from other characters. I actually haven't tried it yet.
Okay. I'm just curious how that would work if it could pull from the vault, or if it would throw things in the vault if don't have the space.
I think they said it will. Who knows if it works? There's so many bugs at the beginning of launches.
For sure.
There's so many things that are disabled right now. They changed how you do build crafting. So there's a totally new mod system. They just simplified it so much. It's a lot of fun. Been having a lot of fun experimenting with all that. Although I am just kind of waiting for content creators to put stuff out and be like, here's what you can use.
Right.
Like, okay, I'll just copy that. I think one of the best things they added was a new enemy called Tormentors. I played the campaign on Legend of Difficulty, which is actually difficult, especially solo. And let me tell you, when the Tormentor first came after me, and it grabbed me with its scythe and just started sucking the life out of me and killed me, I was a little scared. It was pretty frightening to just figure out how to fight them. They're like a mini boss for like a raid almost. Like they use raid mechanics. You got to shoot their shoulders. And then once you do that, they just sprint after you. They're fast. They're scary. And they have a lot of range with their melee to give you the suck. I don't know what else to call it. I think it has a name, but they just suck you with void energy. But yeah, Tormentors are awesome. There's some great cutscenes between the Witness and Callus in the campaign. I think the Witness is a really big threat. I just wish I understood what the heck was going on.
Right.
Final boss fight was dumb. I don't really want to spoil all that, but I don't really like being secluded in a tiny room and forced to use a grappling hook. It feels counterproductive. Let's see, what else can I go over? Oh, music. On the people that do the music for Bungie just never miss. And it's like I can always count on that. The soundtrack, awesome. Let's see, what else do I got here? There was a leak that Lightfall was never supposed to happen, and I don't know, I look at the cutscenes and how they just feel extremely connected. Like, almost cut in half, and there's an 8-mission story in between. It's like kind of
you can buy that.
From. Yeah, is it true? We'll probably never know. The raid is this Friday. I'm not doing it, but I will. I like to watch the raid race. It is a lot of fun. Excited. I hope the raid is good, because honestly, it's not. People might be really mad.
Yeah.
But yes, the thing that is carrying this expansion really is Strand.
Mm-hmm.
They really did a great job with it. It's a lot of fun. At least once you fully unlock it. When you're using the neutered version, it was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
But once you beat the campaign and you're running around Neomuna, it's like, oh, this is really fun. I can do some really good damage. Oh, that's the other thing. Neomuna, the new location.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely average.
Really?
Yes. Like, you're expecting a cyberpunk neon city.
Yeah.
And it's neon. But there's no people. They're all in the Matrix.
Oh.
Because they're immortal there.
Nice.
And it just feels like a city under siege. I feel like I've had that. And I was expecting something more vertical. Like, hey, grappling hook's coming. I'm going to be swinging through the rooftops in Neomuna. It's like, nope, I'm on the ground. I know a lot of people are pretty mixed on the Cloud Striders. Mm-hmm. Extremely cliche in the campaign. And one of them is your vendor and like a discount Cade. They're cracking jokes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I have a problem with them as some others do.
Yeah.
I think they are fine. Also, if I ever say him, slap me. Please remind me of that.
They them pronouns. Got it.
Yeah, they're fine. It's whatever. Destiny's always kind of been goofy.
It kind of sounds like, though, that the problems with that character it's not just that this character was written this way. It's that, like, everything in this expansion kind of feels half-baked or rushed or...
Yeah.
And not that there wasn't care put into it, but, time and money, and...
I think this was the only Destiny expansion that hasn't been delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is interesting, and, like, honestly, if you need it, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
You know what one of my favorite times in Destiny was? The 30th anniversary expansion.
It was a good time.
It was awesome. And plus it led into Witch Queen, which was also awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm running around Neomuna, I'm doing stuff, I'm working on catalysts and doing the seasonal grind, baby. The grind is back. The grind never went away.
The grind never goes away.
I've been seeing people like, I think it was Ascendant Nomad. He was talking about PvP, which I honestly never play anymore, but he's like, it was funny, he's like, PvP mains all left a long time ago. Let's face it, we're all just actually addicted. It's just like, yeah, he's right. We just can't let go.
At least you understand.
Yeah.
If acceptance is the first step.
Obviously, Destiny is a whole year of stuff.
Right.
But, like, just of what I've gotten right now, story is honestly, like, the narrative is straight to streaming.
Yeah.
It was so disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rest is fanboy worthy, so I'm just gonna put it in the middle and give it a Matthew McConaughey. At least so far. We'll see where that ends with the year. Seasonal stuff. Listen,
last year's seasonal stuff was pretty good. I played quite a bit of it, and I enjoyed that storytelling. I enjoyed what they did there, so maybe they can kind of crawl their way back to a...
And they said in the top, they're like, we know there's, like, discourse going on right now. Not everybody's so happy. Please, it's like, we got a lot of seasonal stories planned, and it connects Lightfall to the seasonal to final shape. Like, let's give it some time. It's like, okay, let's give it some time. Impress me.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. I'm being honest.
Well, cool.
I still love Destiny though.
Yes, and I enjoy watching it. I actually it was interesting not being in it on day one, like not playing it, and I haven't bought this expansion, but just kind of following the story along anyways, and I love the universe.
Yeah.
It just takes so much time.
Yeah. If you do end up getting it,
You good?
Yeah, I sneezed, and now my nose is all.
if you get it, let me know. I'll go through the Legend campaign with you.
Okay.
Because the story's so bad, but like it's still fun. Like
Yeah.
it's this duality that's just so frustrating as you're playing. Except for one mission, literally the worst mission ever in this campaign. I hated it so much. I don't know if it was just because I was doing it solo though. I had to cheese it.
Yeah.
I was behind a wall
Oh, that's always fun.
shooting a boss.
That's always fun.
with
Like,
a primary auto rifle.
oh no. That takes me back to Destiny 1. Valis Tarach on the...
Dude, he's a legend though now.
He is. Legendary. Indeed. Oh, well, I think that... Did you do anything else this week?
Did I do anything else?
I don't want to...
Oh, sorry.
It's based on the book.
It's based on the book Wool.
Oh, Silo, the TV show?
Yeah.
Will you watch it? Or will you
Oh,
read it?
over in the chat, Baroque...
Really.
Baroque said, I had no clue there was a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie until you guys mentioned it. Now there's an ad at the top of my Twitter. The phone is always listening.
It is. It
Indeed.
is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kind of creepy. Not as creepy as David, though.
David from The Last of Us. All right. Well, I think that wraps up this episode. Tune in next week. I hope we're going to be reviewing 65. Yes?
Is Oscars next week?
Yes. Oh, and the Oscars! Yes.
And Scream 6.
And Scream, good lord. It's going to be another big show.
Who's getting slapped this week?
It'll be...
Keep your...
We should put some money down.
We should just, like...
I'm gonna
Make
bet on the
predictions.
What's going to be the
Oscars.
drama? That's what we should make some predictions. What's going to be the drama?
I'll be betting on the Oscars for sure.
Streaker.
Ooh, a streaker at the Oscars.
That'd be
I'm
funny.
going Streaker.
I love it. I bet there's some kind of technical malfunction, like the lights go out
Or somebody's gonna say something racist. And not realize it.
not
And everybody's gonna be like...
I think they're gonna fake out slap somebody to make fun of Will Smith.
I don't think they touch that with a 10-foot bowl.
No.
They're making bold predictions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's more likely than a streaker.
Yeah, Streaker.
I don't think I was saying anything out of pocket there.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Good call.
Didn't they say
It
they're
is
gonna have
Jimmy
like?
Kimmel. He might do something.
Didn't they say they're
stupid.
gonna have like crisis coordinators or something there this year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna bet on them.
Yeah.
I don't care what they do there.
What you putting the money on?
I don't know yet. I need to look at the stuff.
You also need to watch them.
I plan to.
1 week. All right.
I know it wasn't up for Best Picture, but I mean, RRR is right there on Netflix.
It's right there. All right. Well, we're going to go watch RRR with Tyler, and we'll see you next week to talk about the Oscars and some other movies. So thanks for tuning in this week. We'll see you.
Bye, everybody.